our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
Majority leader saying that he received a briefing from Jake Sullivan overnight, who said that these are all different objects than the first one, that Chinese surveillance balloon that spanned the size of 2 to 3 buses big. These are all appearing different in shape and size. We don't know yet if this has anything to do with the Chinese government or whether it is something else. So just a lot of things that we still don't know yet, but it's very clear that U.S. officials in defense and intelligence are zeroing in on these objects and trying to detect them at a much quicker pace. So that's all we know right now. We'll bring you more as we have it. A lot of questions.
Giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that told me this truth that rule well, and shalom to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Paya, and as you saw in the clips that I played, right, you have the spokesmen for these news, outlets that's broadcasting, about the balloon that was shot down, which they stating that it was a Chinese surveillance, technology, and then there's 3 other objects that they shut down, stating that it's unidentified. So, you got people claiming that news stations claiming they're not sure what it is. But even like Apostle Tahar mentioned, they got so many different pictures, and different angles with the balloon, yeah. But with these other objects, they're claiming that's unidentified, flying objects or unidentified aerial phenomenons. They're, who knows? I mean, it could be a social engineering programming the minds of people that read and see this to accept that, the U.S. or other governments have technology that's able to withstand the outside force, bringing people together, other nations for a new world order, as you saw ex-president Ronald Reagan, which is all part of their agendas. And, you also got something called Project Bluebeam, right? Where they, can manipulate people into believing in an illusion of like a green screen in the sky, but you see, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You see, as the scriptures say, because the scriptures speak about the angels of the Lord, how they're angelic, and how many there is. They're innumerable. You can't shoot down something that's angelic. You know what I mean? But let's read this real quick. SpaceX and Twitter CEO, and I'm going to get some scriptures. It says, Elon Musk referred on Sunday to a rash of UFO reports as his alien friends, quote-unquote, visiting Earth. A series of unidentified objects have been spotted around the world since the U.S. shot down an alleged, quote-unquote, Chinese surveillance balloon and 2 other objects. Quote, "Don't worry," the billionaire tweeted. "Just some of my alien friends of mine stopping by." Earlier on Sunday, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, shut down a sector of the airspace above Lake Michigan, lifting it shortly afterwards. The restriction came less than a day after NORAD closed off the airspace over central Montana in response to a supposed radar anomaly. So, this guy is trying to play it off, even made mention at one point how, you know, they summoning demons with AI and, you know, with what they call extraterrestrials, which, you know, these elites, they do things on the left-hand side with their sorcery, but you cannot be ignorant of these things that's going on, because you can get caught up into the snares, into the traps. See? Look up Project Blue, look these things up. Alright? And scriptures even speak about the war that's gonna happen in heaven. You know, because the angels are coming for salvation. They're here. They're taunting these elites, these banking families. You know, and they can't do nothing about it. They're scared. So what? They trying to create a narrative. You know, switching the whole narrative. But all throughout the scriptures, through the apostles on that, we've been speaking about the angels. You know, coming in different forms and shapes that people call UFOs. Now, which are the chariots of the Lord. So you got something, you know, the scriptures speak about war in heaven, which is what? These elites, their technology, and they're going to even fight against, you know, the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah, who the world calls Jesus Christ, that will return with the holy angels for salvation unto the elect and destruction upon this wicked kingdom. Right? And then you got Twitter, you know, with their hashtags and stating they saw this, right? People seeing, you know, angels all around the world, you know, and accepting it, and you know, when they hear certain men prophecies and speaking about it out of the angel, people can get hip to it, like, oh really? So you got these different social media platforms run by these Zionists, these elites, to create a narrative amongst the world. You got to understand too, you know, like in Daniel, what Daniel stated, you know, by peace shall destroy many. Daniel, the 8th chapter. You know, so they're going to come with this false narrative of peace, you know, trying to bring these unions together for a new one world government to fight against, you know what I mean? A fight against them to save humanity, quote unquote, so called. You know, false peace, which they got something called problem reaction solution, but, you know, they're trying to form alliance with the whole world. And we know the scriptures say what? When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. So sudden destruction is going to come because they're kind of trying to come in peace, you know? And then with their technology, they're coming in the name of convenience. So we're not ignorant of what's going on and where it's leading to. Now, real quick, we understand that in the book of Daniel, chapter 12, it speaks about, you know, the Michael, the archangel of war, standing up, you know, coming, you know, when the other angels and Yahweh Shah comes back. Because there's going to be a time never seen before, and this is going to be, you know, just World War III, during World War III, during the hour of temptation, you know, because we're in a time of war. So this is what's being spoken of, and it's going to be a galactic, you know, war, and the Son of Man and the angels, it's going to be too easy. You know what I mean? But real quick, Revelation chapter 12 verse 7, and there was war in heaven, right? War in heaven, this has yet to happen. And that's going to be this war that I'm talking about in this time period, in this rulership, right? Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. So you have these elites, you know, while you got, you know, their technology coming up with these space forces and SpaceX and laser technology to fight against this, but they shall not prevail, as it tells you in Acts 5 and 38 or 39. You know, when they try to fight against the Most High, coming against the men of the Lord, coming against the angels. You see? And I believe down here, it speaks about, because we know in Revelation chapter 12, starting at the top where it speaks about the woman, is talking about Israel, right? And we know that dragon, the beast, which is the whore, Babylon the Great, America that sitteth on the beast, NATO, with their technology. But it says, let's keep reading. It says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven, right? Because Yahushai and the angels, when they come, we're going to take the kingdom. All right, so they're not going to prevail, Real quick, let's get, since we quoted it in Daniel, the book of Daniel. All right, here we go. 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, which we're heading to, Jacob's trouble, right? Pursuing to what Jeremiah 30, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, that people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So we know that Yahushua is coming back with the angels to deliver the elect from the four winds of the earth, as the scriptures say. Yeah. And real quick, let's get. All right, this is what I originally wanted to bring out. Lord willing, we could close on this. 2 Ezra 13 and verse 31. Right? It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. So you got talks of Babylon the Great, pointing fingers. Oh, this is China. Be aware of them, and this could also lead to a false flag, even, right? But what? We're in a time of war. One city against another, like you said, one place against another. One people against another, and one realm against another. You gotta understand, we're in this spiritual warfare as well. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear, and hey, and we know the Son of Man is coming, and he shall ascend, right? Like where Esther saw a big fathership chariot, and described it as a mountain, right? And the rest of the nations shall even try to fight against him, but won't prevail. I believe that's in the beginning. But anyway, the beginning of 2 Ezra 13, but it says, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have won against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of the mount of Sion, Israel. Zion shall come, shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven with thy hands. Let me see. Their wicked fall. All right, let's jump up to verse 5, 2 Ezra chapter 13. Let's start at 4. It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. So that's when Yahushua comes with the chariots. He's going to shoot laser beams, on top of the missiles in the midst of World War III. Like as the earth faileth, when it feeleth the fire, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, meaning, globally, right? These different governments, right, coming together from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, look, he had engraved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it, which is talking about Yahushua on top of that chariot that I just mentioned. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, I could not. Here's the point, and after this I beheld, and lo, look, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fight. So the Lord's gonna harden their hearts. And all these people, they're gonna be afraid. Seeing these, they're afraid now, which is why they're trying to come up with different, alternative narratives, to win the hearts of men. But the Lord is only coming for an elect, right? It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. So that's what these chariots are going to do when Yahushua come back. They're going to shoot fire, And those that believe and get caught up in the society is going to dwell in that lake of fire, which is the second death spoken of by John the Revelator. Anyway, so with that, watch and pray. Be not ignorant, man. Because we're about to see more and more spooky and eerie signs. You know what I mean? So this is why we filter all of it through the scriptures, to get better understanding of what's going on. So watch and pray till next time. Shalom.